Hi guys, this is going to be the full solo tutorial of You Shook Me Right Along. So previously I've covered the Trinity Rock and Pop Guitar Grade 3 sort of version, which is slightly different for the bulk of the solo and then is cut a lot shorter. So you can use this as an extension of that solo. So the Trinity Rock and Pop solo goes to that part, but then obviously the real solo extends past that up to beyond the 12th fret region. So I'll be going over the full solo again if you want to learn the full thing, but if you were just going to extend the Trinity Rock and Pop solo into that next section, I'll make sure to point out when that occurs. So here is the whole solo. So, lots of changes from the last version. I'm just going to go through this one now as if this was the first time I was teaching it. So we start off with a full step bend on the 5th fret of the G string. And then we're going to down pick that, and then we're going to up pick the E string and the B string whilst playing the 3rd fret of them with our first finger there. And then we're going to down pick the 6th fret of the B string. This is a bit of a stretch, but it's a good exercise to do. The pinky finger always ends up getting neglected when you're learning guitar, so this is a good opportunity to use it there. So and then we're going back round to the bend on the 5th fret. And we're going to bend this one up by a 3/4 step, so that's basically just under a full step bend. We're going to bend it up and then bend it back down. Then we're going to play the 3rd fret of the G string followed by the 5th fret of the D string. And then we're going to use our ring finger and pinky finger to play the 5th fret of both the A string and the D string. As basically a G power chord. So all together. You can pick this separately. I like to do both at the same time, but you can go to give it a bit more width if you wanted to. All together again. Then from there we're going to follow down this little phrase. We're going to slide from the 3rd fret of the D string up to the 5th fret, and then play the 1st fret again with our 1st finger there. So with our ring finger, slide up, then 1st finger back down to the 3rd, and same thing again on the A string there. And on the A string, I never quite have time to get the full slide from the 3rd to 5th fret in there. It's not technically a slid note, if that makes sense. It's more just a bit of, rhythm to slide into the note rather than the note being slid itself. So I sort of just catch it on the 4th fret there. Then we're going to again use our pinky to grab the 6th fret of the E string. So all together. Then we're going to grab the 3rd fret of the G string with our 1st finger. Then we're going to do this little phrase on the D string here. Now, what I believe he actually plays is he plays the 5th fret, then a muted 3rd fret on the D string, and then back to the 5th fret. So I'm going down, up, down on the picking. You don't have to try the muted note, but if you do want to try the muted note, I'm just using my palm here to mute the note. So right now, you can't really see it, but my palm isn't actually touching the strings. but then I can bring this section of my hand down to play that part of the string. So right now it's off, and now it's on. So you can try that on there, like. So we got, and back up to the third fret there. So altogether that section is. Then to the next section. This is where this solo begins to carry on past the grade 3 one. So we've got this one here. And that's where the grade 3 solo ends. This part here is a bit more complicated than the grade 3 version, but it's a bit more fun too, so it's all good. What we're going to do here is we're going to slide our middle finger from the 5th fret of the G string up to the 7th fret. And then we're going to, that's a down pick. Then we're going to go up and down on the 6th fret of the B string with our first finger. Sort of like a call and response thing got there. So that's again sliding up, we do middle finger from the 5th fret to the 7th fret of the G string on a down pick, and then going up, down, using your first finger on the 6th fret of the B string. And that same thing again 2 frets up, so sliding your finger from the 7th fret to the 9th fret. Then we go back down to that 9th, and back up to the 8th. And we're going to bend up on the 10th fret of the B string, and then we're going to up pick the E string whilst putting our pinky on the 10th fret of the E string. So we're going to bend up, pick the high E string with an up pick, so down, up, and we'll give that little bend and a little push, and then bring it back down, and then land on the 8th fret of the B string with our first finger. So all together. Then one more time on the 8th fret. Then we're going to bend up on the 11th fret of the B string, which is a full bend. You're going to do a half bend on the 10th fret after that, so all together. So it's sort of a full bend on the 11th, then a little quick bend on the 10th fret before you go back to this lick here, and that lick is literally just going between the 8th fret of the B string and the 10th fret, sorry, the 8th fret of the B string and the 9th fret of the G string. So I'm going down pick, up pick, down pick on that. So bend up on the 11th, then a little bend on the 10th fret before you go back to that 8th fret on the B string. And I'll put that one more time. And that finishes this section here. Now we're going to go all the way up to the 18th fret of the B string. And do a full step bend on that. Then we're going to bar the 15th fret of both the E string and the B string. And play both those together. Then down pick the 18th fret of the B string. And then bend on the 17th fret of the G string. So what I did there was, and we're going again from the beginning, bend up on the 18th fret, then up pick on the bar of the 15th and 8th, on the 15th fret of the E string and the B string, and then back to the 18th fret on the B string, and then down over to the G string and bend it up on the 17th. Then we're going to play the 15th fret of the G string, and then the 17th fret of the D string. And then we're going to bring our third finger down there and bar the D string and the B string and play both 17th fret of the G string and D string at the same time. And then back to the 15th fret on the G. So all together. One more time, nice and slowly for you. Then we're going to do some more of those nice bends where we catch the string below on our pinky finger. And we're going to do that 3 times. So all together. Then bending up on the 17th fret of the G and catching the 18th fret of the B. So doing the actual bend 3 times, but only picking the 18th fret 2 times. So, and the last bend, bring it back down, and then we're doing that same lick again as before, where we go 15th fret on the G, 17th on the D, bar both, then back to the 15th fret on the G. So the whole thing again, together. I'll play it once in time and quickly, and then slowly for you to catch along. And nice and slowly for you. That was a bit slow anyway. So at the end of that lick there's a little return to the 17th fret of the D and then back over to the 15th fret. Then we're going to play that 15th fret on the G one more time before bending up on the 18th fret of the E string, which is a 4-step bend. And then going to bend, pick it again when it's bent and then back down to the original note. So, and we're going to bend up and then bring back down on the 17th fret of the E, and then play the 15th fret of the E. So all together, bending up on the 18th fret and picking again on the return. I think you pick more when it gets to the bottom of the bend instead of it being in the middle. So, and then up and down on the 17th fret of the E, and then pull off and pick for the 15th fret of the E. So all together. And then we're going to bar the 17th fret of the E and the B, and then play the 15th fret of the E, and then play the bend, sorry, and then we're going to bend the 18th fret of the B. So all together. One more time for you. I'm not going to tell you which pick I'm doing every single time because that will take way too long. So just pay close attention to see which ones I'm picking. It sort of just makes sense in terms of the flow. So when I'm down picking, barring both of those and going towards the top of the guitar, I'm going to up pick both of those and down pick on the E string. So yeah, do whatever feels best for you. So all together one more time. Then we're going to bar the 15th fret of the B and the E, and then play the 18th fret of the B, and then do a little bend, sort of a 3-note bend I call it, on the G string, 17th fret. So we're going 1, 2, 3, all together. Then bend up on there one more time. Then we're going to slide from the 15th fret of the B to the 17th fret, and then alternate between that and the 15th fret of the E. So we're going B, B, E, B, E, E, and then we're going to bend on the 17th fret of the E, again a 3-note bend, and release to the 15th. So here's the whole solo again for you, nice and slowly. So that's the whole solo for you there. Just if you need to play that part just there, play it nice and slowly. I'm going to play it at full speed for you one more time so you can play along with that, watch it up to speed. If you want, use the YouTube, right here I believe it is, playback speed option so you can slow it down and play it back at the speed that works best for you. Here's the whole solo one more time. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments below. I'm going to try and do another one of these videos soon, like my previous video where I do it at different speeds. So instead of having to use YouTube's feature, you can just play it back. And, you know, it's nice to play things in time, yet still do them slowly, if that makes sense. Because if you just start trying to do it slowly on your own record, you end up being out of time. And then when the time does come to learn at full speed, you get thrown off. So learning it in time at a slower speed is always a good idea. And obviously this is quite a difficult solo, so if it's the first solo that you're learning, using a metronome may still be sort of out of the question. So I'll get that up for you soon. But yeah, any comments, any questions at all, just leave them in the comments below, and I'll catch you all soon.